Welcome back, everyone, as we do live with the Love Foundation Board of Directors here on Global Love Day, May 1st, celebrating our humanity. We are into our third of our board members, and today we get to interact with John Goals, who is both the co-founder and also the vice president of the Love Foundation, as well as being on the board, and has been around before any of this became what it became, and knew about Global Love Day before anybody else did after hearing about it from me. So we have a long history, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Considering we're in the next room from each other.
So we were in Malaysia, and then we were in the UK, and now we're in sunny Florida, here in Orlando, and we're here to share the same questions, the same insights and perspectives that we've been sharing, but each one from a different, unique board member of the Love Foundation. So I'm just going to jump right in because clearly we share a journey of unconditional love. And what I've asked for each of the board members is what's kind of your understanding of unconditional love and why is it important in your life?
I mean, the 30 years ago, getting together when we sort of stepped on a soul path together, it very quickly became one of unconditional love and unconditional love for self and self-esteem, self-awareness, self-acceptance. And then your definition of it as an unlimited way of being, I mean, that was transformative. I mean, just from the standpoint of like letting go of belief systems and programmings and societal structures, and it just keep removing the layers and layers of stuff so that one can live more unlimited. And of course, unconditional love for me, I think it started out as such a lofty, unattainable, you have to be so perfect in the way you're expressing yourself and everything is unconditional love. But it's like when we talked about making it the foundation for living, then it became very practical, very pragmatic, very real. You could apply it. You could say, well, now in everything that we've gone through together and really applying it and really, taking those moments that are uncomfortable and then making them comfortable, to see it from a different perspective, to see it from an unconditional love standpoint. Now I realize that it's more about alignment, but alignment with that inner self, that inner being. Who am I really? And then looking at it, unconditional love is, how am I feeling? Am I happy? Am I satisfied? Am I peaceful? And those are the things that I can bring into really any situation with people and experiences and stuff, to sit there and say, how does this make me feel? And if I'm not feeling comfortable, then how can I change my perspective to become more comfortable? So now not only is it an unlimited way of being, unconditional love is also about alignment with who I really am. It's just
Basically,
sort of being in that.
Celebrating yourself, and therefore by celebrating yourself, you can celebrate love every day, and then particularly as we're doing this relationship with Global Love Day. So clearly you were one of the first that the announcement of Global Love Day was given to 2 a.m. in the morning and saying, what do you think about this idea? And we launched that obviously in the beginning of 2004. So this is our 18th year for Global Love Day. You've been around every year, you've participated, you've poured your love and heart and soul into helping create Global Love Day each year, coordinating, doing all the things that we do at the Love Foundation to make Global Love Day a reality for people to play with and participate with. But independently, I'm sure you have your own aspect of Global Love Day that really rings your bells and makes you happy and makes why we do this so important to you. So what is it about Global Love Day? Because we live love every day. We've saying this in every one of these today. That's how we live our lives. But Global Love Day is our way of reaching out to humanity. And because you've been so integrally involved every step of the way, you have to have your own version or perspective of the uniqueness of Global Love Day.
So you're asking, like, what is it that I like about Global Love Day? And it's really all of it. But if I were to choose the unique part of it that's really special to me, is the global aspect. Because I think if we had just stayed with the Love Foundation, we would have been more Americentric and, not really expanded in the sense and really gone global. And I think Global Love Day really takes it to where we have friends now that we've never met in person, but friends around the globe. And we could really go to so many countries and get hugs from people that feel like family. I mean, that part, is just, it's so endearing. It's so amazing that we're connected around the world. That part of Global Love Day, one human family, I think that's really cool.
Celebrating our humanity, and of course the main theme of Love Begins With Me, and realizing that there are people in every corner of this world who have come to the same realization that it's really all about love. And then no matter what their culture, whatever their nationality, whatever their traditions, they recognize that we are one humanity, and they come from that perspective, and they bring just that brilliant essence.
I mean, even as you're saying that, it's like celebrating our humanity sounds so large and almost impersonal at times, because humanity is just, it's just everybody.
It's so large.
It's so large, kind of thing. But you're saying that what I just said about like connecting with people is like, well, yeah, that is humanity. When I think of Shiva in Nepal, and of course Smiley, in Malaysia, and Lydia in Africa, and different people that we know that have become friends, and Catherine Medico in Switzerland, and all these places where I want to go, and Nina in Russia. I mean, it's just, well, that's humanity. I mean, humanity sounds so just broad and superficial, but when you personalize it, now all of a sudden humanity becomes the people that we know and interact with, and the hugs, and even the nameless ones, the strangers, the people in line that you just smile with, and things like that. And of course, being here in Orlando and Disney World, in our back door, and walking around Disney World, where you just have these interactions and you see people from all over the world, there's this sense of like just connectedness, and because you actually see they're foreigners. No, you don't see that anymore. I just see people. I see humans. I see mothers and fathers and kids, and all that kind of stuff. And so I think Orlando has actually been such a really good place for us to be, because it's so international focused that it fits right in with the Love Foundation and Global Love Day. And so.
Well, and it brings up kind of a point why we have called this Global Love Day all these years. And, it came as an idea as Global Love Day, but rather than being World Love Day or International Love Day, you and I particularly talked about it, but we've talked about it with Board too, that the word global for us actually feels intimate. World feels big, international feels kind of corporate, and global just feels intimate to us.
International includes boundaries, because it's each nation, which is bounded, and global has no boundaries. Yeah. It's the Earth spinning in space, and
for us, the global actually feels, why we like Global Love Day is it brings an intimacy to our humanity. So where we might walk around in our community and feel connected because we have the perspective, Global Love Day is kind of saying, let's do this on a global scale. Let's see the Earth as an entirety, include the Earth, include the people on the Earth, include the fact that we are people in every, as I said, in every corner, living with love and understanding the beauty and preciousness of love.
And even though it's celebrating humanity, the global part of Global Love Day is the plants, the animals, the environment, the atmosphere, and the multidimensional aspect of the Earth. That we're so focused on being here in this tangible world, but we're also floating in space, and there's a whole cosmos that is
supporting us, literally.
Yeah.
And that we actually came from. Yes. So as we keep saying the same thing, for us at the Love Foundation, we see Global Love Day every day. We strive to live with love in our heart every moment of every day. So Global Love Day is our expression to encourage and inspire the rest of humanity, say, hey, this is a fun place to be. The Love Foundation as an organization, now we're, Global Love Day, this is our 18th year of presenting Global Love Day. And this is our 21st year of the Love Foundation as a nonprofit that you and I actually co-founded, started back in 2000. What is it about the Love Foundation that rings your bells and makes you happy and gives you, because, we both share the passion of getting up every day and we get excited about what we get to do with the Love Foundation, but you have your own unique perspective. Share with everyone why the Love Foundation is near and dear to you.
The vision of inspiring people loving
without crying, by the way.
Yeah, no. It's really more like the vision of inspiring people love unconditionally isn't just the Love Foundation that I put into a box off to the side. It's me. I mean, whether I was on the board or not, it doesn't really matter, because the Love Foundation has become a foundation within me and living my life. So, I mean, we always joke that the ultimate goal of the Love Foundation is to put ourselves out of business, because and I love that because it you realize, like, okay, what are we doing? We're bringing love to the surface, to the conversation, to the awareness, to the okayness of interacting with people. It's okay to, I remember the first time, probably not the first time, but I remember hugging my dad, and how different was that. That was long before I met you and stuff, but there was that sense of, like, now love as a word has made it into the common language, and hugging people is, good, and it's just putting ourselves out of business, because humanity has come to a level where what we're sharing is so natural, so easy. Like you say, well, of course I love you unconditionally. That was not a question. Now we're still in that phase of, what does unconditional love mean, and how do you apply it, and how do you live with that? But right down to the, I love how our vision, inspiring people to love unconditionally, has also been a guide for managing the Love Foundation. Because we have there's so many beautiful things that are going on out in the world, and people helping people, and all those things. And when they come to us, it's like, yeah, I really support that. However, it doesn't fully fit inspiring people to love unconditionally. So, how do those things fit in with the Love Foundation? So I just, to me, it's really more about that vision, the vision of inspiring people to love unconditionally. So.
And as we've shared, I mean, the board of the Love Foundation we all feel we're custodians. We're part of a bigger family, and we are spread around. I mean, the board, we're here in Orlando, and then Lannis is in Tampa, and Candace's in Hawaii, and Smiley's in Malaysia, and Katie's in England, and Kevin's in Colorado. We have notoriously always been that way. Well, then we have our coordinators, both the United States coordinators, and we also have global coordinators representing countries. It is global in its orientation. So we've become, aware and sensitive to not only, going beyond American-centric or Western-centric ideas and perspectives, but also Northern Hemisphere versus Southern Hemisphere, and cultures and traditions. And, the Love Foundation has always been about weaving in through all of those, acknowledging all of those, and also being the constant reminder that we are brilliant beings, we're all magnificent, and that the Love Foundation just, restores that understanding that we're all in it together. Global Love Day is a recognition, a celebration of all of us as a humanity, no matter who and what we think we are and who and what we try to be. We are fundamentally, stardust beings here on the planet, and restoring that understanding will put us, to a point where we don't need to be broadcasting an idea of Global Love Day, because it will be Love Day every day for everybody, because they remember who they are and why they're here, because they're all reflections of the same.
Well, one of the other aspects that I really enjoy about the Love Foundation is that we get to focus on love every day.
Yeah.
I mean, just right there. I mean, that's like
It's selfish, aren't we?
very selfish. And, even when, being aware of news and things going on in the world and all that kind of stuff, but because of our focus of love, we actually then get to take those traumas and dramas and all that kind of stuff and then say, well, how would love view this? How can you shift the perspective? How can you see the beauty in tragedy? And things like that, and go, so because of our focus on the Love Foundation, my life, then I get to focus on love and how to apply that into every situation. I mean, I feel like a completely different person almost every day, but over the years, I can just see this evolution of who I am and my own just being okay with who I am.
And we, of course, have expanded our relationship as a result of that, because we keep knowing that we become more, and we kind of reintroduce each other to each other because we keep growing and expanding. So it's really a microcosm of the macrocosm, but we practice it all the time. And really, as a result, I mean, life just keeps getting better and better. And I think, we're not here to convince anybody of anything. We're just here to say, for us, we've been living a journey consciously of love for a long time. And it's a more natural, more integrative, fun place to be. I mean, because out of it comes natural compassion, natural kindness, natural joy. These aren't things we struggle with or to make happen. They just are part of us because we recognize, it's all starting from us. Love begins with me. And then from that standpoint, we can celebrate humanity because we realize love begins with me, which actually brings us to our last question I've been asking all the board members. How do you enjoy celebrating Global Love Day? And particularly, today, how are you celebrating Global Love Day? Share with everyone.
We're doing this together, and I love being able to connect with the board members around the world. It's just fun to have these conversations. And we've obviously every year has been different. So for 18 years of Global Love Day, from those initial I should put up the picture of one of our original gatherings. Even Lannis was there and everything. So
2004, yes.
Yeah, that was really fun. And I mean, remember one year that you and me and Lannis went to lunch and just had the most beautiful spring day, and everything was like, it was just a wonder. So every year is different. And even including like the t-shirts now each year, that's really been fun to, just to wear them, just whether people notice or not, it doesn't really matter, but it's just sort of like this self-expression. And it's just, I like all of it. I like the way it changes every year. I like the way that more people find us and come on board, and I love it.
That is, in a way, I mean, we always look global. When we started in 2004, we reached out global, and we certainly had unexpected responses. African nations really responded wonderfully, in Middle East and all that. But in particular, one of our first gatherings, that was that first year, I mean, it was maybe a dozen of us in the backyard for a physical gathering. A few years later, we had a big gathering, 150 people. That was wonderful. And here, because of circumstances the last couple of years, we've had to readjust to make things more virtual and interactive from kind of a social reality that's going on. So they are all unique. And this year, it's been fun to actually bring the board together live and say, hey, this is who's behind all of this. These are the people that are playing.
Yeah.
But we also acknowledge the fact that we have lots and lots and lots of friends, family members, we call you.
And the ones that have been around are still there supporting us and loving us. I mean, our friends and neighbors, and it's just
our neighbors in other countries, our friends,
I mean,
our family in other countries. So yes, I mean, we're underestimating just how much we appreciate doing this. But clearly, you and I have been with this for 21 years, and this is our 18th year, and it never gets boring. It never gets tiring. It just keeps expanding.
And how much I just appreciate the love, the support, the friendship, the expressions. I mean, just all of it.
Well, and to be able to interact with courageous people who are living with love. I mean, that's what inspires, I think, both of us, is that we aren't the inspirers. We are inspired by all the people that interact with us, and they give us courage and confidence to live more with this. So it's been fun to have the co-founder with the Love Foundation, and I'm looking forward to sharing. And of course, John has been participating with each of these in the background, each of these interviews, and he's getting to have the firsthand experiences. All of you are getting to see these things live, and I hope many people see these videos after the fact too, and hopefully enjoy them. But
all right.
Thank you for participating and being part of Global Love Day, the Love Foundation, and everything.
To everybody that's watching, thank you so much, and I love you. And to Harold, I love you.
Ditto. I love you too. Bye, all.